Hi, this is Michael Ogechi Abbey with Enterprise Express Tax Service. Today we're actually talking about something I get asked quite a lot in my practice of tax preparation, and that has to do with direct deposits. And mostly, especially recently, let's say the last couple of months, the IRS has moved from being able to, well, not being able to, but they do not no longer want to do paper checks to send people their tax refunds via paper checks. They now want to primarily just give people their tax refunds via direct deposits. The IRS has always done direct deposits. It is their preferred method of depositing taxpayers' refunds. However, they did also have the option of sending your refunds via paper checks. And the reason why they've decided to go full on with direct deposits as opposed to paper checks is an economic one. It's more efficient to send refunds via direct deposit. It's also safer as well. They don't have to bear the responsibility of mailing your check and then the check get lost in the mail and they have to start doing research. And you, of course, have to do research as well as us, the tax professionals. We get asked, well, what happened to my tax refund? It was supposed to be mailed to me. Of course, some people still prefer the paper check. We call it old school. They'd rather have that check in their hands and deposit it when they can and whatnot. But again, it is a lot more efficient for the IRS to direct deposit your tax refund. So what's the process? Well, you walk into your tax professional's office. He or she or they prepare your tax return. You have a refund, a tax refund, state, federal, or both, and your tax professional processes the return as an electronic file return. And within that return is the information for your direct deposit, which includes your bank name, your bank routing number, and your bank account number. All right, so those are the three elements that your tax professional or your tax office needs in order to process that. Now, bear in mind sometimes that I just want to mention a couple of other things as well. If you're someone who elects to have your tax professional take their fees out of your tax refund, and this is quite common, okay? What's going to then happen is the IRS uses a third-party bank. And there's a couple of them out there. There's Republic Bank, Santa Barbara Bank, a few other banks that the IRS authorizes to do that. And essentially what happens is that bank, be Republic or Santa Barbara, they will take the tax professional's fees, all right, out of your refund. They will also charge an additional fee for processing it that way. It's called a convenience fee. And this could range anywhere between, sometimes I've seen it go anywhere from $45 up to $80, even up to $100. And so it's very important that you ask your tax professional, if they're providing you with that convenience service, how much additional you're going to have to pay for that service. Now, in terms of the actual refund using that service, it pretty much acts the same way. In my experience, there's no time difference. If it would take the IRS typically 5 days to process that refund and direct deposit into your account, if you're using, or if your tax professional is using that third-party service, it's going to take the same time. It's not different. Is it safe or not safe? It's safe. The IRS vets these banks or these organizations, and they go through a very rigorous vetting process to make sure that, from a security standpoint, that they can handle obviously the sensitive information that they use. So I just wanted to explain that because a lot of times people are a little bit concerned. Excuse me. People are a little bit concerned about using a third-party service How does a direct deposit system work? Is it safe? It's very safe. A lot safer than a check lying around somewhere in the mail, post office, not getting to you. You don't know where it is. Also, it's a lot easier to trace a direct deposit that's, gone missing. All you do is you check with your bank, the IRS checks on their end, and somewhere, somehow, they'll find out where that went because, it's just a lot easier to trace an electronic transfer as opposed to a check that's gone through several different channels. So, do I advise using direct deposit? Yes, I do. It just makes things a lot easier. Another thing I wanted to cover is a lot of people are concerned that the IRS has my banking information. Are they going to go in and take my banking information without my permission? No, they will not. The IRS cannot go in and take your banking or any monies from your account without your permission. So it's totally safe in that sense. Now, what the IRS can do, and this has nothing to do with your tax return, is if you owe them, okay, if you owe the IRS and have owed them for a long time, you haven't responded to the letters that they've sent you, so on and so forth, of course, they can put a lien on your property. They can put a lien on your bank account. If you have not paid your tax obligations, they can put a lien on your property as well. So, but that has nothing to do with the filing of the return. So if you have any concerns about the IRS having access to your banking information, I mean, they pretty much already do anyway. So, there's nothing to be concerned about from that perspective, okay? All right, so I think we've covered the grounds in terms of direct deposits, how they work. I think the last question I asked was, do I recommend direct deposits? Yes, I do. It's much better. It's much safer. Oh, and there's one more thing. If you owe the IRS, your tax professional does have the capability to make it such that you can pay the IRS as you file your tax return. Now, there have been some issues recently, and especially this last filing season, that we've noticed where the IRS did have some problems drafting those direct debits. And I think it had something to do with this shift of the IRS moving from paper checks, not sending any paper checks, to a full-on direct deposit electronic mode. I think there were some issues with that because what we have noticed is that for some people, those direct debits were either not done. People had letters saying that they had the wrong account information. And there were just a few things that did go wrong in that sense. But under normal circumstances, the IRS, your tax professional, is able to make it such that the IRS can take what you owe them from your bank account as an automatic debit. And it's pretty seamless. Dates put in. Your tax professional will ask you what date you want the monies to come out. As long as it's before the 15th of the deadline, it'll come out on that particular date. And I think that's a good way to do it because you're now sure that you've paid the IRS and you have proof. The money's left your account. That's your proof that you have paid the IRS or the state in this case. All right. So I think I've covered most of the angles when it comes to direct debits and direct deposits with regards to the IRS, and of course the third-party services that are used by the IRS as well. Once again, this is Michael Agachi Abbey. Our office is open all year round. If you found this video to be useful, please like it and subscribe to our channel. What we try and do is give you good factual information with regards tax preparation, and we'll continue to do so. We do taxes all year round. We do taxes in all the states in the United States. We also do business taxes as well. Do not hesitate to contact me, send me a message, or call me. Thanks, and enjoy your week. Bye.